What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Fantasy Football Hub YouTube channel. Now, before we get into today's video, firstly, I have a very special announcement that you guys need to hear. We are doing a flash offer on Fantasy Football Hub for Game Week 3. If you are a new member and you sign up before the Game Week 3 deadline, if you don't get a green arrow this week in Game Week 3, you will have your money refunded to you. Yeah, seriously. Let me repeat that. If you're a new subscriber before the Game Week 3 deadline and you don't get a green arrow this week, you'll have your entire money sent back to you. So if you've been thinking about getting a Fantasy Football Hub membership throughout preseason, Game Week 1, Game Week 2, and you've not really been sure, well, this is the week to do it. If you don't get a green arrow this week, you'll have your entire money paid back to you. It's an insane deal. The link you need, by the way, is down in the description and the pinned comment. All you need to do if you're a new customer is submit your email and FPL ID before the Game Week 3 deadline. As you can see on screen, if you click that link, it will take you to this page. Green arrow or your money back. All you got to do is just input your email and your FPL ID, the ones you'll use for Fantasy Football Hub, and your normal FPL ID. Click this button, join now, risk-free. After that, sign up to Fantasy Football Hub, of course. Then you must follow the AI's captain pick. You can't just go and captain the worst player in the game, for example, and then get your money back. You need to captain an actual proper player. Now, this week it's pretty tough, but as long as you go with the AI's recommendation, then that is absolutely fine. And then finally, you get a green arrow or you get a refund. All you got to do is just email support@fantasyfootballhub.co.uk, your Game Week score and FPL ID, using the subject Game Week 3 offer, so we can check if you actually did get a green arrow or not. And that's it. Super simple, ridiculous deal. It's the craziest deal that we've ever given in my 3+ years of doing this. It's absolutely insane. I can't quite believe it, but yeah, take advantage of it. Link is in the description. Sign up before the Game Week 3 deadline. You don't have long. Let's get into the video with Abdul. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Hub YouTube channel. Today, I'm joined by FPL Salah to preview Game Week 3. Abdul, your team is up on screen right now. Your team rating is 92%, which is very strong, I'm going to be honest. Compared to a lot of other guests we've had on the channel, I think even compared to my team, that's still a pretty good team rating. It's come down a little bit from pre-season, as the season hasn't got off to the start that I suppose we've all wanted, but still at 92%, which is very strong. By the way, guys, before we even get into chatting about Abdul's team, if you want to get your team rated for free and compare it to Abdul's, click the link in the description and it takes about 10 seconds. Abdul, let's chat about your team, mate. What are you thinking about it overall?
I mean, I'm quite happy with the team. I know I had a good Game Week 1, didn't have a good Game Week 2, but I'm still happy with my picks. I think I've got a good team this week. Obviously, there's PALMER there, who is an injury concern, so we'll talk about him. I'll probably get into him this week. The question is, whether I use my 2 free transfers or just use the one. So that's what I'm deliberating at the moment.
Okay, so to timestamp this video, we're recording it at about 12 o'clock on Thursday. This will come out on Friday morning. So are we going to get much more information on PALMER, do you think? Anyway, we'll have the press conference, obviously, tomorrow, Friday. But do you expect Maresca to say, like, I don't know, he's definitely out or he's definitely going to play? It's probably not going to happen, is it?
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
I mean, like we always hope for that, but I think it'll be one of those where, he's looking good, he's training on his own, or we'll see one of those, like it'll be like he might be fit. Because no manager's going to come out and say, yeah, he's 100% fit. So I think we might possibly get some early team news on Saturday because it is the early fixture.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's worth waiting for that because there is going to be a lot of price changes from now until then. But let's see how that goes. However, I don't expect Maresca to come out and give us anything definitive. So I'm just going on the assumption that what we know at the moment, which is he'll probably miss Fulham and, probably be back for Game Week 4 against Brentford because obviously we've got the 2-week break. And from what he said, from what Maresca said, and from the scans, the reported scans was that it was positive and it wasn't anything too serious.
Okay. Let's have a look at your recommended transfers by AI before I ask you about what you're planning on doing, just because this sort of gives us a little bit of, I don't know, something to talk about. And the recommendation from AI is to sell PALMER. Now, in doing that, you can then make another transfer. And you talked about either making 1 or 2 transfers to upgrade Mark Guiu to Mateta, which looks really strong for a bench boost. So you need 3 million to be able to do this. So PALMER would have to come down to any player below 7.5 million. The AI has gone with Dango, which gives you even more money rather than someone like a Semenyo or another mid-priced mid. What do you think? Not necessarily about these players, but about the structure of these transfers.
Well, it's good because that's exactly what I'm thinking of in terms of if I use my two free transfers, those are the two players that I'll be getting rid of, right? Palmer
Yeah,
and Gee. If I'm going down the two transfer route, I've looked at for Palmer, I've looked at Semenyo, I've looked at Sar, and for the forwards, I've looked at Mateta, the one that the AI is recommending, João Pedro, and Chris Wood. The only thing is, using the two free transfers means I'll probably have to bench. Like I'll have a good 8-man attack, so I'll probably have to. Like if I bring in Sar, for example, say I go for Sar and Wood, I'll probably have to bench Sar this week.
yeah,
I'm not sure using two free transfers to bench a player that I bring in is worth it. Although I do really like those two players. I like Sar and I like Wood. And, João Pedro's somebody I've been thinking about as well. He's got a good fixture this week. And if Palmer is somehow out for longer than expected, then he becomes a fantastic option.
mm,
But, game week 4, I think there's an international break after game week 3. So a lot of these South American players will be going abroad and possibly coming back late. So there's a bit of risk there with João Pedro. Possibly same. You could probably say the same for Chris Wood as well, to be honest. But if I do get Chris Wood, I probably will bench him in game week 4 because he has Arsenal away.
yeah,
But yeah, so that's the two transfer route I'm looking at. Bringing in those combination of players. But obviously, what I could do is just use the one free transfer and just do Palmer to Cunha.
yeah.
And
This is the debate, isn't it? That is the debate. I think a lot
yeah,
of us with Palmer, it's the exact same for my team. Do you go with the two transfer move, strengthen everything, but then bench a solid player? I think I'd be benching like Verts in my opinion in my team, which
yeah, it's tough, isn't it?
no, it's not great. You don't really want to. It's like Verts or Reinders to make two transfers, and you're like, oh, yeah, I kind of agree with you. Is that worth it? But then again, we do have to use the bench boost down the line, and the AI has this in mind when recommending these transfers that you still have that
Yeah,
bench boost available.
yeah, and to be fair, like I've thought about the routes as well. If I get Chris Wood, I could possibly just do like a free hit in game week 4, and
Yeah,
then a possible get a bench boost in game week 5. Or if I go for a Mateta, I can do a bench boost in game week 5. But it's one of those where like I could still possibly do a bench. Like if I do one free transfer this week, I'm gonna have two free transfers going into the international break, which is great. So that kind of puts me back to where I am at the moment in terms of like I've still got a bit of flexibility because Man United have got Man City next week, so I could even just bring in Cunha for 1 week and then do that double move in game week 4 or game week 5 and use the bench boost if I want. And the other advantage of getting Cunha in as well is that I could possibly even get into Bruno instead of Cunha in game week 4. Just
wow,
I don't see that being likely, but just in case Cunha ended up
yeah,
being like the main person and he's playing 90 minutes again, etc., and he's playing up front. I don't think that'll last. I do think Sesko will come in eventually, but I think he will play up top in this game. I don't see Sesko starting this weekend, unfortunately, after the Grimsby display. But yeah, so it's just between that really, using the two free transfers or just using the one. And like I do feel a bit, but I do feel a bit like going aggressive with the two free transfers. But at the same time, I think although we can afford to be a bit more aggressive this season, like with the double chips and with the five free transfers, extra transfers in game week 13 for AFCON. I still think this week it might be just best using that one free transfer.
yeah. It's really tough to know. I've talked
Yeah.
about this on some of the other videos as well this week. Just not really sure what point, what state the game is at. Whether we can change how we've been playing for the last few years
Uh-huh.
fully, or actually is it just the first two game weeks have led themselves to being slightly more aggressive because there haven't been any huge captain hauls and money's been better spent spread out. I don't necessarily think that's going to continue. Who knows? It might. But yeah, anyway, these are your recommended transfers. And as always, guys, you can see top of the screen, you can get your own recommended transfers using the link below. As Abdul, there's a massive sneeze on screen, which I'm definitely not going to cut out, by the way. Like, it's staying
Oh, you
in.
better. Did I not put that on mute?
Yeah, it's on mute. It's on mute.
Oh, okay, that's good.
No, but the video's staying in. That's what I'm saying. This is all free. We're free flowing here.
Right,
Abdul's
we'll
got a
see.
cold, by the way, guys.
Yeah, I'm a
Let's
bit,
allow
a
him.
bit down in the dumps.
But exactly, make him happier by signing up to Fantasy Football Hub and getting your own recommended transfers. I think it is interesting that we are all getting recommended to do this double move, by the way, rather than do Palmer to Cunha, which
Yeah.
for me, I'm on that as well. That is the deliberation. So let's go back and have a look at your team. Firstly, I want to have a look at your team if I make those two transfers that the AI was recommending,
Yeah.
and then just seeing how that looks going forward, who it might be benching and who's going to be the captain in future weeks, etc. It does boost your team rating up to 94%,
Uh-huh.
and then it has Reinders as the bench player this week.
Okay, that's
If
interesting.
you were to make those two moves, if you
Yeah.
didn't go with Dango and you went with Saar, I think it would. Well, how many points is Saar predicted to get? So it would still be benching Reinders even if you went with Dango,
Yeah.
even if you went with Saar.
I really like
Yeah.
Stanwood, doesn't it? 5.2 predicted points.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we don't necessarily. I mean, I don't know. It might be a good option. Sunderland away is a good pick.
Yeah.
Not really being talked about too much, but I do like him as a pick.
Yeah, because you got, I mean, you got obviously a goal. You got the DEFCON as well, didn't you? You got like the
Yeah,
16 contributions.
exactly.
So
I think that's why that's one thing that's worth mentioning. I think he might be very good for DEFCON. I wouldn't double
Yeah.
up though with two Brentford
yeah,
attackers, but
it's a bit much, especially when they got Chelsea the week after. So
yeah. But that is what your team would look like if you did
yeah,
those moves.
and it's good. It's a good structure because it allows you to bench boost like in any.
Let's have a look at 5.
Yeah,
That would be the bench boost in Game Week 5. No transfers. That's pretty strong. I mean, this is Dubravka coming into the team, by the way, and so like as in that is your bench keeper who is actually the one that's starting. Sanchez would be on the bench.
yeah. So Reinders, Esteve at home to Forest, and then Van de Ven at Brighton. That's a perfectly fine bench boost.
Yeah.
A really good bench boost. Yeah.
Game Week 8 maybe as well could be an option.
Yeah,
depending
Game
on
Week
when
8
you
was
wildcard.
Game Week 8 was the one I had kind of in mind. If I didn't do it in the early weeks, because I think that's when Burnley plays Sunderland again. I think.
It's Leeds, but yeah.
Leeds, yeah. So that's another good week. But I think the way things are going, yeah, I think we might have to use it earlier, just with the kind of, I mean, injuries happen, right? But the way the Palmer injuries happen, and the fact that we've got 2 free transfers and we can, bring in that 8th attacker who's a bit more robust, I think we can probably go for an earlier bench boost.
Okay, let's talk about what you're more likely to do then, do you think, out of going with that double move or going with someone like a Cunha?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the moment I'm a bit more inclined just to do the Cunha move because it just gives me that flexibility over the international break of the 2 free transfers, and I could even, but again, as I mentioned earlier, I could even just do like the hokey cokey with Cunha, bring him in this week, possibly get it next week.
Wow.
Do a double move or even save for game week 4 if I can, and then do a double move in game week 5. I mean, the thing is as well, like Mark Gay, he scored midweek, right? So, like, he could possibly become an option in the next few weeks. And if he
Yeah, he
does, then
could.
you possibly might want that 4.5 million slot back, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of leaves that flexibility there as well. But I just think like, I mean, the bench boost, okay, fair enough. It's going to get you points, but I don't want it to dictate my transfer plans too much. I think it's one of those chips where I can just decide to play it whenever.
Yeah.
And if I've got like transfers banked up, then that gives me like more power to play it when I want.
Yeah. So if I had to ask you right now, do you think you would do the Palmer to Cunha move?
Yeah, I think I would. If the deadline was today,
Yeah.
I would do that move. But again, I'm really tempted by the double move and bringing in Chris Wood because I think that's out of the forwards.
That's upside, isn't it?
Yeah, Chris Wood or Mateta. I think there's Mateta. I don't like bringing in players who've got a bad fixture the week I bring them in. I don't think Villa is a great fixture, but then they've got a Sunderland in game week 4, which is fantastic.
Then West Ham.
Sorry, West Ham.
No, Sunderland, then West Ham.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's what I meant. I got the two ones mixed up, but yeah, so we've got 2 great fixtures after that. But like this week is tough,
Yeah.
but then the Chris Wood conundrum is that a great fixture this week, but then Arsenal in game week 4, so then that might bringing in Wood might kind of force me into playing. Not force me, but I think it might put me down a free hit 4 path as well, which I've not decided on yet. So Just making that one transfer just makes life so much easier, like in every aspect, in terms of like getting the two free transfers over the break, and being able to hold off on any sort of chip usage over the next few weeks.
I was just looking at like what you would do if you had Chris Wood for game week 4. So this week again, it would be Reinders being benched.
Yeah,
Who actually would you bench if you do end up doing this? Would you bench Reinders and play Verts?
I mean, my initial thoughts were I would bench Sar.
You would bench Saar, okay.
Yeah, just because
Oh
I think that
wow.
ahead of Rangers because I think Palace are playing tonight in the Europa League
Oh
or
yes.
the Conference League. So I guess a bit depends on that as well. I mean, if Sarr plays a full 90 minutes, then I would probably bench him ahead of Reinders. Like, I mean, Thiago's one of those players where like he's 6 million forward, but he's got the best fixture of the season, so I can't really bench him this
No.
week. You know what I mean? He's got Sunderland, so yeah, that's probably the way I'd go this week if I was to get Chris Wood and Sarr.
And then this is game week 4. I think you've got like I don't know. I don't know. I feel like we've played the game long enough now, you especially, that you don't mind too much about benching points unless it's a huge haul. Like
Yeah.
I feel if you're benching someone that you've got in your team and they're a low owned player that's not going to hurt you ever in terms of
Uh-huh.
hurting your rank with other players, other managers who own him, then sometimes it's all right if they just like get an assist or a goal off the bench and you don't have that in your team. It's not really that many points. I'm just thinking like on a week like game week 4, like that's all right, isn't it? Is that you just choose who to bench? Wood, Thiago, Bruno Fernandes, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't mind that because I think that week as well, it's quite an easy decision, I think, to bench Wood that week.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Like, I'd probably just play Thiago because Thiago's like playing 90 minutes. He's on penalties. I mean, I guess by then, Brentford might have signed another forward or Wissam possibly stays. So I guess we'll need to look at that as well. Again, that's another reason to get those two free transfers because if Wissa stays or um, they sign another forward, then Thiago might be a problem as well. So instead of getting it to Gay, I could just get it to Thiago.
I really like this because then you just roll immediately into game week 5 and then you bench boost maybe and then it's done. I mean, maybe you don't bench boost this week, but you could.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It gives you that. It gives you that option. I mean, using the two free transfers allows you to like just get the points on board this week, and then just use that bench boost like in game week 4 or 5,
Yeah.
if you need to.
Well, let's see. Let's see what you end up
Yeah,
doing. Your final team reveal will be posted on the website, link down
yeah,
below as always. We haven't actually talked about captaincy, so let's end this video by talking about
yeah.
captaincy. Who are you going to captain first of all, and then after that, I would like you to rate all the captains if you had a free hit this week
Yeah.
as to your top 3, let's say.
I mean, I think I'm going to captain Bruno because for my team, even if I get Cunha, which is like my likely transfer, I still fancy Bruno just because he's got penalties and more likely to play 90 minutes and get DEFCON as well. So probably captain Bruno. But if I was to make a transfer and get Wood, I'd be
Yeah.
very tempted to captain Chris Wood over Bruno Fernandes. But I don't know. I probably put Bruno still a bit ahead just because he's got more routes to points. So Bruno, I think, is the best captaincy this week. I think if I was to rate them, I'd say Bruno, Haaland this week in second, third. I'd probably put Cunha third,
Okay.
and then Salah fourth.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause I still think. I mean, Arsenal is a tough game, but Liverpool are at home. They're going to score, and you would
They've
be
scored
surprised.
7 goals in 2 games and they've been poor.
Yeah,
Pretty crazy. I mean,
exactly.
that's not going to continue, but that is the sort of team they are.
Yeah, and Salah's. I mean, he's not been great, right? But he's still got a goal and assist, and if
Yeah.
he plays good, he'll probably end up getting some attacking returns. But I always like to play the fixtures, so just based on that, that's how I'd rank them.
Okay. Cool. I think I'll probably agree with that. To be fair, I'm not sure on my team whether I go. Depends on the transfers. I don't have a Bruno, but I think I would. I'd be tempted to go with Cunha. But that game against Grimsby, man, is just like
Yeah,
I know it shouldn't put me off that much, but it's the post match interview from Amarim was just like so bad. One of the most negative I've seen in a long
yeah,
time. It is concerning.
but like I still think like yeah, it was a bad performance, but they're going to play like like they're the strongest team against Burnley, and like you'd think if you wanted like a rebound like game, it's going to be at home to Burnley or a promoted team. and you think that they, want to put in a performance. So you can look at
Yeah.
it both ways, I think.
I just don't even know if they're capable of bouncing back. That's the thing. They've
Yeah,
been hurt so many times.
I know it's mad because I did think honestly I had high hopes of Man United this season. I thought they would be good because the transfer window they had was one of the best they've had in years,
Yeah,
and it does seem like. And then that first game against Arsenal looked fantastic, right? But then kind of reverted to the same against Fulham and now, and now against Grimsby. So
yeah.
yeah, let's see. I still think United will win that game. I think they'll score at least 2 goals. And like Bruno's that type of player as well, right? Where I think he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's not going to down tools. He's going to go out to win.
That's true. That's true. Okay, good stuff, Abdul. Let's leave it there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the tips and advice. As always, guys, if you would like to do anything that you've seen me do on screen throughout this entire video, the AI recommended transfers, the My Team tool, I've not even had a look at predicted points or anything really too much in this video, then sign up to Fantasy Football Hub. Link is down below. It's still 50% off, by the way, if you want to become a full member. It's so worth doing. We're very early on in the season. You have the whole rest of the season to utilize it and win your mini league. Thanks, Abdul. Good luck this week.
Thank you. Cheers, Jack.
And thank you guys as well.